Massive day for the unemployed. Ludwig got roasted by Tectone. Tectone responded. Ludwig tried to roast Tectone, and we know how Tectone takes insults. So, if you like the video, like and subscribe, because we gotta...
Let's up those numbers!
We gotta get those numbers up, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? Today is actually going to be a little bit different from my normal videos. Unfortunately, a content creator by the name of Ludwig
By the Ludwig of name.
has invoked my name. And Ludwig has enough viewers where I'll actually give a fuck. Because blasting me in front of that many people, well, obviously I gotta say.
Bro, I don't know if y'all saw his tweet before he went live, but he should have made this whole video in that like way of speaking that he did in the tweet, because that shit was hilarious. He was like speaking in old slang terms. It was great.
Say something, right? Obviously I gotta say something. So we're gonna say something. Now I would like to pretense this. I know there's a lot of people who don't like Ludwig right now. I know that that's how it is. And I know for me, it's very beneficial for me to say, oh, I fucking hate Ludwig. The guy's a piece of shit. The guy's a rat. And to be honest, I did say the rat, but that's just for clickbait. That's just for me.
Yeah, same, bro. Like, I fuck with Ludwig, but at the same time, I gotta criticize him for shit. So, like, when he fucks up, I'm gonna criticize him for it. A lot of people are criticizing Tectone, even though he never fucked up. Like, he didn't do anything wrong, and everyone's mad at him, and are siding with the people that did do shit wrong, that didn't get punishment.
You know how that goes. To be completely honest, I was actually a big fan of Ludwig for quite a while. To be honest,
I was too, and I still am.
still think he's honestly a pretty okay guy. Not really
Exactly.
as much as he used to be, but honestly, I got no issues with the guy. But recently, I did a little bit of calling him out. I did a little bit of calling him out because the events that occurred on his stream made me a little bit sick. They made me a little bit upset. And it shook me to my core. And the reason why it bothered me so much is due to the fact that I had that pre-existing respect for Ludwig, that pre-existing affinity for Ludwig. I mean, I even used to steal the guy's thumbnails and titles. Absolutely, I 100% did. I used to
Me too.
consume his content all the time. I watched that whole damn subathon when he was sleeping in that race car bed. And I think a lot of people are currently disappointed in Ludwig's actions. And the fact that he won't take accountability for them is honestly quite disheartening. We're going to break this down bit by bit. I'm going to show you the call out. The reason why I'm making this video, I was going to make one and leave it alone.
Sorry.
Because I don't really consider Ludwig a threat to the streaming space like I do other people that I frequently make content on. I'm not a guy who wants drama with anybody and everybody. I never want to be that drama at all. I just want to correct the bully's behavior in this space, which is why I like calling out all of the problematic people, the people giving people false accusations, false allegations, promoting terrorism, saying horrific things about people's dead relatives, implying that people are criminals on baseless claims. Those are the people that I consider threats. However, Ludwig was a very, very, very small man yesterday, so let's go ahead and talk about it. And I want to make this very clear. Ludwig, if you do see this, and this does hurt your feelings, I mean, I guess it is what it is. I want to let you know, I'm not sitting here talking about false accusations. I'm not sitting here talking about false allegations. I'm not doing anything speculative. What I am doing...
So I already watched part of this when it was live, but I didn't watch the whole thing. Like, about right here is where I stopped watching.
Right now is I'm doing a thorough breakdown on objectively what you did that is on stream that is proven by your own actions. If you want to make a follow-up video shit talking me, you're more than welcome to. If you want to make a video talking about all of the horrible shit that everybody fucking does that's been pulled out of their ass, you're more than welcome to. You wanted to stay away from drama.
Tectone's trying to bait him into going back to Mogul Mail. That's the funny part.
And sure, I don't know if Hassan will approve of you making that video, but if you do get your daddy's permission, then sure, go ahead, you can do that. And that's a little bit of a joke. I know that probably pissed you off. But let's go ahead and get into this shit right now. So, last night,
That
Ludwig
probably
goes
pissed you
live
off.
with C-Dog VA. he goes ahead and he says this.
Enable game chat. It's actually one of my greatest pleasures.
Now, I would like to pretense this with C-Dog VA is currently 1-3. They're losing very hard. The enemy is up 7 kills. They're both probably...
I don't know about you, chat, but I quite literally could not fucking hear the thing that he was saying in that video.
miserable as fuck. And as well as they're playing League of Legends, which means they're most likely on suicide watch enough as it is. I don't know how much money you would have to pay me to play League of Legends on stream. Jesus Christ, haven't done that in years. But usually this is how you know someone has chronic clinical depression. Yeah, oh, you can't hear it? Great, let me pull up another clip then.
Enable game chat. It's actually one of my greatest pleasures that I get to die never having to speak to these people.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like a Tectone video. I can die never watching one.
That's wild, bro.
It sounds to me like somebody may or may not have watched my video. I know.
Possibly.
I know. Ludwig, the thing that's really a shame, and what I don't know if you'll actually believe me for, is that the original video was called Ludwig is a disgusting, filthy, lying rat. I, who have a conscience, just changed it to be Ludwig is a rat. And I think
Yeah, he's not a gross rat, just a normal rat. Like a normal dirty rat that isn't like disease ridden, but like might still possibly live in the sewer.
Agree after watching this video that me calling you what you are isn't an insult. I'm trying to make you aware of your own actions, not things that I've speculated upon, but things that you have actually done. Not 4 years ago, not 5 years ago, 2 days ago, to one of your closest friends. Now you expressed that you'd rather kill yourself than watch one of my videos. Well, Ludwig, I have a feeling you sound a lot like somebody who's watched one of my videos. And by the way, if you're here watching my video right now, make sure to press like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for all notifications. Let's keep going.
That's the funny thing about what he was saying, because he was saying, I can die without having listened to one of your or watched one of your videos. Why would you know that why would you know that the videos are good or bad if you haven't watched them? So you quite literally can't make that statement, bro.
On here.
So true.
It's a good life. It's a good life that I get.
I know. C-Dog being a bro, backing up his homie, who's clearly tilted. You know what's really funny, Lud? Trash Taste, C-Dog, VA, Joey, Giga, they actually invited me on Trash Taste way back in the day. Do you know that Joey used to watch my content on Arc Nights every single day? I actually have a lot of respect for the Trash Taste crew, but I do think it was funny that
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who that is. Is that C-Dog's podcast or something?
That's so true. Obviously cheering on a good old buddy in League of Legends. Some people want me to be angry at that, but I just won't. I've met up with C-Dog and VA in real life, and I still like the guy a little bit, even if he was taking a little bit of shit talk at me.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not tapped in at all on Ludwig's stream. But like when he first came back to Twitch, I watched a stream and it was just him playing League for like a whole entire week. So at that point I just stopped watching his streams at all, cuz I'm like, is this all he's gonna do, bro? And then most of the time, whenever I do try to check in on one of his streams, when I ever actually see that he's actually live on Twitch, I go in there, bro's playing League of Legends. I'm like, bro, do you do anything anymore? Like, what the fuck? I have no interest in watching League of Legends. How do I fucking tell you, bruh?
He hasn't really done anything fucked up, so I don't feel like the need to go in on him. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's keep going here. I don't really thrive for drama, and I hope that you believe me here. If I was, I would say, man, Ludwig and C-Dog VA, they really crossed the line, and now we're crashing out. Yeah, I'm just not really interested in doing that, Ludwig. This isn't me farming you for clicks. This is me showing a man who has fucked up. And we're now 7 minutes in this video. We're gonna get in here even more. We're gonna keep going here.
It's like a really healthy life.
It is. It is.
Great. So you said that you would rather kill yourself than watch one of my videos, and that's not really cool to say. So let me tell you why you had this very small, very petty little boy behavior on your stream. And that is because
It's because he wanted to.
Up those numbers!
you are now facing the consequences of your own actions, where you have fucked up, and once again, you are skirting accountability, and you completely threw over one of your friends under the bus after you completely fucked over his life.
Yep.
And I mean this genuinely, Ludwig. You completely butt fucked Mango's entire life. Now, I want to make this very clear. Did Mango fuck up?
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. Of course he did. Everybody knows he did. And he is responsible for his own actions. Now, a lot of you guys, and this is the,
It's almost like chat and the entire internet. Two things can exist at the same time. Like, two things can be true at the same time. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It was Ludwig's fault, but it was also Mango's fault, bro. He's an alcoholic who's addicted to alcohol, and then he got way too drunk because of peer pressure from Ludwig. But he got way too drunk and then did stuff that he shouldn't have been doing. It's his lack of self-control, but it's also everybody who was cheering him on to continue having a lack of self-control and making it an environment to where it was seen as he was doing a good thing by getting belligerently drunk.
the reason why I'm making this video. A lot of you guys say Ludwig is not responsible for someone else's actions in his event. This is a good counter argument that a lot of people say. Because play devil's advocate. A lot of you guys might think, well, that's Mango. It's not Ludwig's fault. He's not responsible for anybody else's actions. And for some people, you might agree. Some people might say no. Some people might say yes. Do you know who would disagree with that?
Hey, look, somebody in chat said, wait, where was it?
Some people might say no. Some people might
Both are at fault. Right there. Hey, somebody with a brain.
say yes. Do you know who would disagree with that very take?
Only educated people watch Tectone.
Do you know who would disagree that you are not responsible for someone else's actions? Ludwig himself. And this is why we're talking about this here today. The only person responsible for someone's actions is the someone that did the action. If little Timmy sees a video of a guy eating a fuckload of Takis and faking domestic violence, and then eats a fuckload of Takis and slaps his crush, Timmy is responsible, not the other guy. I just said your argument is weak. Fight someone else in the comments. How is it weak, bro? Nobody is responsible for what random idiots do but the idiot that did it. The fact that you seem to think that you have this much pull and control over randos that roll up to his stream says more about ego than anything else, to which Ludwig responded, I think there's a lot of good arguments for not having responsibility. I just specifically think mentioning a one-
Bro, I don't understand why this is a fucking argument. You caused your friend to get fucked up enough to make a fuck ton of mistakes and then threw him under the bus because you didn't like that he made mistakes. But he made mistakes because you pressured him into it. Everybody involved is at fault, bro.
100,000 extreme cases prove why that should be the case is weak. Weak argument equals weak stance. It's not weak, it's true. You aren't responsible for what randoms do unless you specifically say, hey, go do unshit in my name. Ludwig, you have actively fought people who said that you aren't responsible for someone else's actions. You believe that you are responsible for someone else's actions. By the way, this was in regards to chat policing. This was in place for community policing, saying that a streamer is in control of their chat and a streamer is in control of their community, and they should dictate what that chat and community should do. So if you believe a streamer is in charge of their chat, randoms on the internet, why the fuck do you think you're not responsible for taking care of one of your best friends in a weakened state around alcohol that you know is his vice, a suffering alcoholic in a public on display format in front of—
Bro, Tectone is gonna make me want to, like, fucking go burn down a store or some shit. why does he speak like he gets so passionate whenever he talks about stuff like this? He makes me want to go riot.
Hundreds of thousands of people. Ludwig, if you had a fucking spine, you would understand that you fucked up bringing Mango into that situation. You need to wake the up. Because if you are going to say that a streamer is in charge of their chat, yes, the streamer host should be fucking taking care of the people in their community. Ludwig,
True.
you invited a known alcoholic of 10 years to an alcohol abusing festival. And
That's the thing. Like, do y'all remember the OTK thing where Just a Minx was getting like she was on painkillers or some kind of medication that she couldn't drink alcohol with, and then NMP's wife, I think at the time, yeah, they were married. I forgot. They did get married, and like chat didn't know about it. Anyways, she was like trying to feed her alcohol basically, and S-Fan was like, "Hey, no, literally, she cannot drink. Like, dude, stop." Milena, yeah, she was trying to give her alcohol, and S-Fan was like, no, she literally can't drink that.
Cheered.
It's basically
for this.
like that. But that was a situation where someone was actually standing up for someone who was like fucked up, I guess.
Ready for this?
And this is just actively encouraging. Like, what more do you want me to say about this?
You cheered for a alcoholic blowing a .32. You need to see this, okay? The legal limit in America is a .08. Ludwig, he was 4 times over that in the .3 to .4 zone of alcohol poisoning and loss of consciousness. Once he got to a .32, you say, and I quote, "Let's get those numbers up." At 0.4, he was at .32. At
This is what he said.
0.4,
Let's up those numbers!
or it is potentially fatal, risk of coma and death. At .3, you have alcohol poisoning, loss of consciousness, altered mood, reduced reaction time, slurred speech, slowed thinking, nausea, vomiting, loss of balance. This isn't drama, Ludwig. This is you putting streamers' lives at risk for content. He blacked the fuck out. Even his tweets show he has no idea what the fuck happened. He doesn't even remember the night's event. He doesn't even remember doing anything. He was that fucked up, and you encouraged that. Now, some people are saying that he got to a .37 later in the party. I cannot verify that. I cannot find the clip, so I don't want to weigh in on that. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to go in on what people are accusing you of. I am only
we're just going based off of the facts.
going to talk about what is in front of me. And you putting someone else's life at risk is not good, especially someone who you considered one of your best friends. And here's the worst thing, Ludwig, you can't act like you didn't fucking know. And the reason why you can't act that way is because multiple streamers warned you to not fucking invite him.
Mango was saying that shit earlier.
Mango's been practicing drinking beer for a week.
Okay, Mango is like an alcoholic. Mango can drink.
Yeah. It's good that we invited an alcoholic to this event. That sounds like a great idea.
30 beers.
You said, and I quote, Mango is an alcoholic. Should I invite an alcoholic to a beer drinking party? Is it okay for a recovering alcoholic to drink? For some recovering alcoholics, the safe course remains complete abstention, avoiding not just the chemical, but also the psychological triggers associated with alcohol consumption. Well, there we go. That's what Google thinks. Yeah, Ludwig, we shouldn't invite a fucking alcoholic with a known alcohol issue to a beer drinking party. You invited this person personally. And it's like, dude, I literally feel like I'm talking to a child right now.
This must have been what Ludwig's brain sounded like the whole night.
I hate how in big 2025, you're 29 years old. We're pretty much the same age. I'm 31. Now, according to the internet, I'm dead in the dirt, and you still got 1 year left to live. Because once you're 30, then you're fucking dead. That's just how the fucking world works. This is the thing that I don't understand when people tell me, oh, well, now you're covering politics. I'm not covering politics, guys. I'm covering common fucking sense.
Literally.
I don't know how someone is this bitter at me.
Literally, people keep calling him political, and I'm like, no. Bro just says things how they are. It's that simple. Like, quite literally, that's what I'm trying to do as well. I'm trying to not be biased or anything ever anymore. Cause like I used to try and pander to people, but like at this point I just want to be real. Cause like I'm tired of trying to say the safest opinion all the time. I mean, that's quite literally what Ludwig does, and that's why a bunch of people are beginning to hate him, is because he says the thing that he knows is gonna be the least controversial thing to just appeal to everybody. It's basically like he lives his life like a Mr. Beast apology tweet.
Due to the fact that I said, hey man, don't invite your recovering alcoholic buddy to a beer drinking party, encourage him at a 0.25 to drink more, encourage him at a 0.32 to drink more, getting him to a near fatal level of alcoholism. And then when he does things he doesn't remember, then you throw him underneath the bus. Guys, is now permanently banned on Twitch. He's been removed from C9, which he was like one of the original members, as well as there was one other thing, and now he's banned from all future Ludwig events, meaning after the severe hit in his career, there is no way for him to have a bounce back.
And act the same he does off no beers. He's a machine of a man.
He said he had 7 beers already today.
If you ask him how many beers he's had in lifetime, it's probably above 10,000. He's the chick.
Look at her face, bro. She's just like, so you thought it would be a good idea to invite him to this? Lud, I don't think you're thinking clearly. No, Brian. For the first time, I am thinking clearly.
Valkyrie says, and I quote, and when someone looks at you like this, with a concerned look like this, isn't this event enabling?
That is the most concerned look that I have ever seen on anybody's face ever. Even Cinna. Look at her face.
Yeah, but what did you respond with?
He's a 2-time champion. He's never lost.
You completely skirt the question and you say, well, he's the 2-time champion. Yeah, I would imagine an alcoholic is the champion of an alcohol party. Yes. Now let's keep going here. Now maybe you didn't know what his actions were. Maybe you didn't see him getting crazy. Maybe you didn't see him going over the edge. Maybe you didn't see a weird part of him being unlocked and party on 4K on thousands of people's streams.
Surely he didn't see that. Surely if he did, he would have shut some stuff down and like maybe told Mango he needs to chill out or something. Maybe he would have like physically said, hey, you gotta go, bud. And then maybe he would have like ran defense for his friend and been like, maybe I shouldn't have invited this guy because or maybe he should have just like controlled what the fuck Mango was doing instead of letting things get to where they get to, as you'll see later in the video.
Maybe you just didn't see, and this is why you're ragging this way after the fact. Oh, let's watch this clip real quick.
Karaoke?
We're doing it here.
Here?
Well, apparently everyone's just trying to run it here because we got drinks and it's easy to set up.
I'm down. Hi, babe.
His eyes are glazed over. His speech is slurred. He's in an environment where his shirts are off because you thought of a great idea that it should be shirts versus skins. He's immediately trying to touch women.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing.
Crazy shit.
I won't let him beat you up.
You push him away.
Thank you, Lud.
He comes closer.
Thank you for having me.
Hey,
Boink,
thank you for
boink, boink.
You know he's being weird.
I got second in the...
It's right in front of you. You know he's being weird.
What the hell is that?
Right?
Borderlands spawns are actually good.
He's still being fucking weird.
It was fun. I was loving it. I love Borderlands 4. But this was the best day ever.
You push him away again. You then try to block him off from Extra Emily. You know very well that he is completely far.
One of the things that could have helped them the most here is if they just had one fucking sober person in this entire event. Like, one single person that was sober that could have been the babysitter. Like, what? One person at all? No? Everybody's fucked up? That sounds like a great idea for a streamer party.
Gone. You know very well he's being weird as fuck. You know very well he's smacking on bitches' heads. You know he's gone. You know he's blazed. You know he's over the limit. What you should have done, and it's very obvious, and I hate saying this, and you're the one who said that you should be responsible for your own community. If you did not say that, this video would not be being made. I would say, okay, Ludwig doesn't give a fuck. Clearly, you are trying to give the illusion that you give a fuck. With Hassan saying, and I quote, Ludwig calculates the most friendly, non-offensive takes of all time. Well, in this non-offensive take where you said that everybody was responsible for the Twitch chat and community, you need to be responsible for what happens at your parties. You know he was being weird. You chose to keep him on the stream because he's the two-time champion. You need him for content. You need him for views. You need him to make this event epic. And you know he was being weird as shit.
Yeah, people in chat keep saying, like, Ludwig was drunk too, Ludwig was buzzed, or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that is a pretty good excuse. But so was literally everybody. That's why no one did anything about this stuff. Or if they did, it wasn't really very effective because everybody was drunk. Again, that's why I'm saying, why didn't they have at least one person that wasn't? Or actually, they have a cameraman, right?
For views. You need him to make this event epic.
Why wasn't the cameraman
and you know
doing
he was
something?
Being weird as shit. You couldn't have just said, hey man, you're too fucked up. Called him an Uber and got him out of there. You kept him live on this shit. You know he was being weird the entire fucking time. And his life is now completely fucking ruined.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I know there's some things that happen with your dad. I'm not going to bring those up. There's a lot of people who want me to bring those up, and you know what I'm going to say, and I'm not going to say it because I don't feel like crossing that boundary. But if anybody should know the effect of alcoholism, it should be you.
Yeah. There was some stuff in Ludwig's personal life that had a profound effect on him. I should feel like with alcohol. But apparently that doesn't matter to him somehow. I don't know.
You should know damn well how bad that is. And it's a shame, rather than showing any remorse, you say, fuck Mango, he's never invited, he fucked up by himself, nobody else played into that. You set bro up for disaster. And you know he did. You know you did. You took an alcoholic, you brought it to your party, you were warned to not do this. You were questioned, hey, isn't this enabling him? Your other friend said, hey, the amount of alcohol he's drinking is very dangerous, we should stop. You say, no, we need to get those numbers up. You get him to a
Lights up those numbers!
0.32, blackout levels of alcoholism. He acts weird. You see him being weird. You don't step in. You don't remove him. You let him continue when he doesn't know what's going on, and now his life is ruined forever. You could have apologized. You could have maybe helped him get into an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, though judging by your actions, you most likely would bring a kegger to an Alcohol Anonymous meeting. You set him up to fail. You ruined his life. His wife is in shambles. And while I agree Mango did fuck up, and I absolutely agree, he is responsible for his own actions. You are responsible for bringing your friend into this incredibly dangerous environment. You are.
Yeah.
And you can be upset at me. And the reality is, Ludwig, if you are upset at me, you want to know why that is? Because you're not actually upset at me. You're upset at yourself. You know I have not misconstrued anything. You know I don't have an agenda against you. I have no pre-existing hatred for you whatsoever. In fact, I've been told by a lot of my friends, old friends, that I should hate you, and I don't. But I think displaying this level of childishness and this lack of any empathy or support or caring for your friends.
I kind of wonder who told him that he should hate Ludwig. Huh. I kind of feel like it was Mizkif for some reason. I don't know.
Is disgusting. And I hate this world of streaming that we live in, where we're willing to throw anybody under the bus if it means saving our own skin. You couldn't even take a little bit. You couldn't even take a little bit of bad PR to ease it up on him even a little bit. You said, nah, fuck him. It's all his fault. I can't believe he did that. You said, oh man, disgusting. I don't condone that. Oh, pathetic. Not me. You couldn't have said, man, I feel horrible. Mango was my friend. I knew he was struggling with alcoholism, but I invited him anyways. I was warned, I didn't listen. People warned me again, I didn't listen. I fed into his weakness, I fed into his vices, and he fucked up, and I hate the fact that I put him in that position. You didn't say that. You couldn't take any-
after all this, there's no way that those two ever speak to each other again, unless it's to apologize. But at this point, I don't think Ludwig's ever gonna apologize for shit, to be honest.
Any heat off of that. You let him fry and die by himself, and now his life is over. And once again, am I a big C9 Mango fan? No, I don't even know the guy. I know he plays.
Yeah, I watched a couple Smash Bros streams, and I watched Mango again do something else with Ludwig that involved alcohol. That's the only time he ever invites him to do anything. It was the rating every single beer tier list. Of course he invited Mango to do that with him. And that's the only other thing I've ever seen him on.
Smash. Maybe I watched a couple clips. Is he one of the guys in the Wombo combo clip? I don't fucking know. I'm just calling a spade a spade. And I really just think, and guys, this goes for all streamer parties. If you're recording yourself on a streamer party and you're getting alcohol involved, that shit's gay as fuck. It is. I've been to a couple. I'll never go again. And if I do end up,
I don't think he explained that well. It's not. Oh my god, it's not gay. It's just like, why do I feel like he uses the word gay as like stupid or something? I don't use it as that word, but anyways, yeah, it's just cringe. It's cringe and it's stupid and it's not a great idea and you should probably never do that, especially if you want to keep all the people that are involved in this party not canceled. That's just as simple as it is.
Going to one in the future, I bet your ass I will be sober as fuck, making sure that the people there are okay and actually trying to help people if they're making an ass out of themselves rather than enabling it and letting them destroy their lives. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. But I think this whole situation is absolutely disgusting. I think it's been handled with, to be honest, a disgusting amount of negligence.
Yep.
Disgusting amount of no one being able to take accountability for their own actions. And I'm seeing deflecting and misconstruing, and I'm not seeing anybody try to help someone out where they completely fucked their life. And yes, once again, I'm going to say this for the third time this video, Mango absolutely fucked up as well. But Ludwig, so did you. And you need to take accountability. Don't do this shit. Because you want to know why more people aren't calling you out? Because they know you're a figurehead. They know you're a ringleader. They know if they hold you accountable for your own actions, they won't get invited to the next big streamer thing.
Yep.
And that's why these people don't call you out. Because they know they want the clout. And you know that's true. You know a lot of these people don't actually give a fuck about you. They only care about what you can do for them. And that's the truth. When all this shit's said and done, it's a shame. I think the streaming space.
That's the sad part. Like you realize that once you realize what he just said, Ray looked genuinely concerned in that clip, but then once Ludwig completely ignored what she was saying and just went on with it, she didn't say anything after that. Because she knew if she pressed him, she was going to get called a hater or something like that. So, like, if she wants to keep getting invited to shit, she's kind of just got to go along with it. Because, yeah, he is kind of the leader in the streaming space. Especially now that he's back on Twitch.
Already disgusting. And to be honest, I think it got a little bit more
And
disgusting.
I mean, his girlfriend is the one that sets up the streamer awards every single year. So like, if she wants to get invited to that, you can't make anybody mad.
Over the past couple
And that's
days.
just how it
Let's
is.
take some accountability, guys. Let's try to be good friends in a space full of piranhas
Yep.
and full of pieces of shit. Let's just try to help our friends. Let's not set them up for disaster. And when you see someone fall, you don't have to kick him in the nuts. Take some accountability. I know you're 29. I guess 2 more years till you gain empathy, just like iDubbbz. I'm out.
That was a good fucking outro, bro. 31 years old is when you learn empathy, like iDubbbz. Yep. So true, bro. Anyways, chat, that's the end of the video. If you liked the video, please subscribe, because we gotta...
Lights up those numbers!
Anyways, I'll see y'all later.